2 years ago, I started to convert the interior of my Audi A4 B7 from the boring stock gray to a much cooler black. I found a great deal on a set of black grab handles, sun visors, and a roof console. This gave the car a panda look for a few weeks, which was okay by me. I sourced black A, B, and C pillars from a friend who was parting out a B6 S-line. Unfortunately, I don't have photos of them. The headliners on the A4 are known to start sagging over time. Mine was starting to sag around the center console area, so I figured I should deal with that before things got worse, and before installing the pillars, as they would need to come out to remove the headliner if I did it later. The most difficult part of recovering the headliner is removing the old glue. Sometimes it crumbles off, but mine was sticky and gooey. It required a lot of acetone, a scraper, and patience to get it clean, but it's an important step. If it isn't clean, the new glue won't bond properly. Attaching the new material requires a spray glue that is applied to both pieces and very carefully laying the material on top of the bonding surface. Wrap the material around the edges, then cut off any excess fabric. Installation of the headliner and pillars was pretty simple, and I'm happy with the result. The one last piece of the black interior project was the rearview mirror. My mirror is auto dimming and has a compass built into it, and I wanted the new one to have the same functions. With some patience, I found one on eBay within my price range, and the part number matched my stock mirror. Removing the mirror is pretty simple. The cable cover easily pops off with a firm tug. Grab the base of the mirror and rotate counterclockwise, the mirror will release. Unplug the connector that provides the mirror with power. If you plan to do this job yourself, be aware that through the production run on the B6 and B7, there are many different models of mirror used, and you need to check your part numbers carefully. Upon receiving mine, I noticed that the plastic cable cover was a different shape than the original one, even though the part numbers were matched. More on that shortly. Installation is the reverse of removal. Plug in the power connector. It's pinned, so can't be plugged in backwards. Align the mirror clock slightly to the left and apply pressure towards the windshield while turning it clockwise. Aligning the mirror can be a bit tricky, and it took me a couple tries to get it right. Be patient when doing this. The base plate is glued to the windshield, and there's a risk of cracking it if you're too rough. The new plastic wire cover was a slightly different shape and size than the original. Also, the mounting tabs were broken off, which the seller didn't mention in the listing. So I decided to paint my old one. I scuffed it using 300 grit sandpaper with only slight pressure. Then I cleaned it thoroughly with isopropyl alcohol. Before painting, I sprayed it with a plastic adhesion product. For the paint, I selected a flat black that I already know matches the interior once it's dried. First coat was very light. Second coat is heavier. Third coat is really heavy. Here's the original cover on the left and my painted one on the right. Once installed, there's a slight color difference between the paint and the plastic on the mirror, but it's so close that I'm giving it a pass. And after installation, I'm able to turn the auto dimming on and off, so I'm happy with how this project turned out. I was going to include a section on how to adjust the various settings on the mirror, but I am now going to put that into a separate video. Subscribe if you want to see that video as well.